Ready, guys?
We're good.
Good morning, everyone. The Delaware County Commissioner meeting for December 16th, 2024 is now in session. Would you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, good morning, everyone. I'm Gary Merrill, President of the Board this year. To my right is fellow Commissioner and Vice Chair Barb Lewis, and to my left is fellow Commissioner Jeff Benton, our Administrator Tracy Davies, and our Deputy Administrator Don Houston, and of course our clerks Brandy and Jennifer. Let's begin.
Resolution number 24-1028, in the matter of approving electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held December 12th, 2024.
So move.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 24-1028. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment today. That brings us to item number 3, resolution number 24-1029, in the matter of approving purchase orders and announced certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 1213 and memo transfers in batch number MT APR 1213.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 24-1029. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
For item number 4, Andy Volnick, our Executive Director of Delaware County Transit, has a couple of items for us, one being a presentation and another event a little later.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, everybody. Again, for the record, my name is Andy Volnick. I'm the Executive Director for Delaware County Transit. And I'm here today to present our year-end update. Started the year coming here before you, sharing what we were looking to do in 2024. And I have some really great news. We delivered on all of our promises. And you'll forgive me if I'm a little out of breath. I am recovering from a cold from last week, so apologize if I take some deep breaths every so often. But we did start this year with coming to you, and we had approved in March our strategic plan. So this was our first true year of executing portions of our strategic plan. If you'll recall, there were 4 pillars to that plan. There was the service, implementation strategies, really, what does the community want out of its service? Capital investments, notably around vehicles and assets, our facilities, policy development, making certain that we're executing our policies in an appropriate manner, notably around investing our funds appropriately throughout the community, and then, of course, funding, chasing grants, chasing local dollars, looking for those key partnerships to grow our service. So in this, what you'll see is you see these a lot of words and then a red check mark. Those are the things that we executed this year. And then you'll see items that say in progress or continuous, and then the kind of grayed out sections are things that we're looking to do in the years to come. So one of the major portions that we heard in our strategic planning process was we want more service. We want more hours of service. If you'll recall, prior to July, we operated Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Good for a lot of core things, but not good for people that have life after 6 p.m. or on the weekend. How do you get around if you utilize our service as such? So we expanded our hours within the city of Delaware for our flex service to 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Also, we heard we want service in other areas. So we do have our county-wide demand response service, but that is a more traditional kind of rural transit service, call ahead, medical appointment driven with a higher fare. So it's harder for people maybe to use that in day-to-day life. So we expanded in October to the communities of Sunbury, Galena, and Berkshire Township, and then continue to work for partnerships for workforce solutions. We actually received an award for a grant for a workforce transportation study, so that is moving towards that goal. It says, for capital, procure additional vehicles. We've been buying vehicles left and right. We've been very successful in our capital grant processes and being awarded grants. We received an award for 8 new vehicles. All those vehicles are out on the street. They're smaller transit vans, 6-seater passenger vans, and they are wonderful, and we're very excited for those. And we just received another award for 6 additional more vehicles. So we're getting 14 vehicles here in the next 18 months is the goal. And then develop policies. So we've executed policy development with our board, notably around investment policies, making certain that our strategic funds that we have, that we're using those appropriately, and we're continually reevaluating those and moving towards those. And then the funding portion, we've been successful in getting additional funds from local partners. The one that I do want to highlight is our friends over at Public Health. Here in 2025, we were able to secure a grant with them in which we'll get $75,000 additional dollars to execute non-emergency medical trips for folks that go to Grady, go to medical appointments, and don't have any other means to get to or from those appointments. And we're super excited to start that partnership here in the new year. But numbers always help us tell a tale, right? So that's all the fun parts that we've done. But what did it actually get us, right? So year-to-date, total ridership is 140,000, almost 141,000. We're going to close the year at 154 if my estimations are correct. You'll see the top reasons for why people use our service. This is our commingled service. So this is Flex plus our demand response countywide service. And you'll see the top two are really great reasons. They're for employment and they're for shopping. Excuse me. And then the next one, it looks like the slide's a little scrunched up here on your screen, so I apologize about that. But then the next one is medical, and then social. Social meaning getting around, seeing friends, living your life. My family and I, since we've expanded our evening service, on First Friday, we do not take our van anymore. We order a trip, and we take it down to First Friday and back, and I use social because I'm going out to see friends, family, and be part of our community. So that's what social means in this. And then human services, that's fairly evident. And then education all the way down to adult daycare, and then DCSO. So forgive me. You'll see then on the other portion here, the two ways in which you can book a trip. You can call us, or you can use our app. You'll see the healthy split there. Most of the demand, all of our demand response trips have to be managed by an agent because we have so many subsidy programs to assist with the fare. It's too complex for the simplistic app to be able to develop. But I will say the good news is the past 2 months, we've seen the reason or the means in which people are booking a trip have flipped from agent being the predominant reason to the app being the predominant reason. And that's exciting news. We're seeing more people use it for their trips. And then you can see there, our mobility management team takes a ton of calls in a given day. On-time performance. So when can you expect, how often can you expect a vehicle to be in front of you at the time that it's supposed to be in front of you? For Flex City, Delaware, 97% of the time. City of Sunbury and the surrounding area, 98% of the time. And then demand response, 95% of the time. These are excellent numbers across the industry. Our ride time, we want to try and keep your ride time below 15 minutes. We average 11.2 within the city of Delaware. And then at-fault accidents, our safety record, right? We're averaging roughly 1 accident a month. At-fault accident, I should share. That's where our operator did not execute what they were supposed to do safely. You can see the miles driven on the roadway. I think this is an excellent number. And then you'll see the 5-star rating. So on the app, after a trip has been executed, you'll be prompted once you open it back up to schedule a new ride, or you want to just check something. It'll say, how was your trip? We're averaging 4.9 on the compliment side of it. And then complaints, just below 1. And that's out of 20,000 ratings there. So again, really great numbers that we're seeing. And the top reason, more often than not, excellent driver, which is one of our points of pride here. So this is a graph I've shown numerous times. You've seen it plenty, but I need to just share and articulate what does it really mean. So we're going to execute 154,000 trips this year. Really, we're seeing that surge from when we expanded our hours of service. Makes more sense. You have more service, people are going to use that service more. And so we are doing a 30% increase from last year, or a 42% increase if my math is correct from the previous year, and a 111% increase from 21. We've essentially doubled our service in 3 years, which is very exciting. People are using the service. But people use it for so many various reasons. One of my favorite ones, when we expanded our hours of service in the city of Sunbury, I would open up my laptop in the evening, I'd see what reasons people were using trips for, and one is there's a person who uses the service to go to the gym. That's 7:30 p.m. Maybe that's when they have that time available, right? I don't know their situation, but that's when they go. And they use the service to stay healthy, to go to a place where they can enjoy their community. And again, I've shared the story on how we try to use it getting out and about in our community. But people use it to live their lives is what they do it for. Or excuse me, use our service for. So goals for 2025. I won't list every single goal. You can see these. The big one to do is we need to become a Medicaid waiver provider. I submitted an application this year, and
That still hasn't happened, huh?
well, I submitted it and I was denied. So, yeah, because I couldn't prove that I did this line of work. I wish I could tell you it was a super simplified process. It's not. We had to submit 35 pieces of documentation. I spent 2 hours on the phone troubleshooting why it was not allowed. So we actually resubmitted here, and we're awaiting another. I'm certain to get a rebuttal from the system, from state Medicaid or state DODD. I wish it was that simple, sir. But we've submitted all of our documentation. We're going to become a Medicaid provider in 2025. Excuse me, waiver provider. We received funding to do a workforce transportation study. We're going to do that this year. We're also going to execute a facility master plan study. We are outgrowing our space. We have usable space, but we need experts to tell us what makes sense for us to do. We're going to investigate pilot programs for additional pass programs. So we do not have like a daily pass or a monthly pass at this juncture, or a weekly pass or student passes. We want to investigate those and see what those would look like within our system. And then we need to continue to strategize service implementation to the southern third of Delaware. I've shared that narrative. 100,000 plus people within the southern portion of Delaware that want reliable transportation options, and we do not currently provide that today, and our strategic plan points us towards that. The other, just kind of to share the story on how successful the ridership has been, if we hold steady, if we see zero growth in our daily ridership, we will do 170,000 trips next year. So that'll already be about a 10% increase from what we just did. That's no new customers. As you saw in the previous graph with the bar graph, we're seeing increase in ridership. We're seeing people using the service. We still, and this is always going to be one of our challenges, we'll go out into the community and say, wait, we have an option? Absolutely, you sure do. Let me tell you all about it. And that happens even in my neighborhood, for Pete's sake. So we're continuously getting out there. I did 30 plus presentations throughout the community, and yet we still got to go out there and share our story and share that this service is out there for people to take advantage of. So again, if we just hold steady, we're going to see 170,000. We believe that we're going to be somewhere in the 175 to 185,000, which is a mind-boggling number. I'm not going to lie, for us to be at. But with that, I'm open to any questions, comments, or concerns.
I have a question.
Excuse
You talked about you're adding vehicles, you're adding 6 more. Now, do vehicles go out of service when you make
Yes,
these
sir.
additions?
That's correct. So we did some, the 8 that we got, 4 were for replacement, 4 were for expansion, and then the 6 that we're getting, 3 are for replacement, and then 3 were for expansion. The next round of vehicles that we're looking to get are going to be all replacement, and they're going to get rid of any remaining of our older vehicles that we have, or at least that's the goal if we can do it here in the next grant cycle. Excuse me.
I assume there are operating efficiencies and
Yeah.
capital cost efficiencies of buying and using smaller vehicles.
Yeah, great question, Commissioner. So the smaller vehicles that we got were roughly $175,000. The vehicles that we would have typically gotten were somewhere in the $225 to $245. So right there is a capital efficiency. I don't know their miles per gallon off the top of my head, but a smaller vehicle is going to have a higher miles per gallon, and we are seeing that. So, but yes, just on the capital expenditure up front, we're saving money.
How are, I know one of the things we've seen in the past and not been as strong as we would like, the partnerships with the local agencies.
Yeah.
You know, and then follow up if you could address business relationships.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
no, thank you for that question. So I highlighted the relationship with public health. That came out of the partnership, right? The county-wide health partnership in which we shared, listen, we want to be able to get people to medical appointments. And our friends and peers over at Public Health said, we have an opportunity to partner. This is a brand new partnership. We've never had those funding dollars, that $75,000 I referenced earlier. We have an outstanding partnership with JFS. We found operational efficiencies to be better for their clients. Previously, a client would call their case manager to book a trip through us, then they would contact us, and then we would have to contact the case manager. We errantly sent customers on this circuitous call loop. We said, well, what if we just took it over? And we're able to take them and onboard them and then essentially CC you and create efficiencies there. So we found efficiencies and a great partnership there. We also have doubled down on our partnership with SourcePoint, and we are receiving more funds this year to execute our BusBucks program and more funds for next year to execute the BusBucks program. When it comes to the businesses, this is a really great question. This is what the workforce transportation study is going to kind of be the tip of the spear. This is going to get that conversation out there and going to solidify where we need to act with our private business partners and where do you need help with transportation options. It's a little challenging just because the make of the county, again, is in such a way where X solution might fit X community, but Y solution may be different in Y community. This is where having experts come in, getting data, getting narratives, getting information, and that we can strategically act on what is a proper priority for the community at large.
Yeah, well, thank you for a good report, bright future, good plan put in place and executing on it, so thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Shaker?
Yes, partnership with CODA. Morpsey was here the other day and we talked a little bit about that, and then we got some follow-up information, and I know you're partnering with them on.
Yeah, so this is a great question, and this is where I've shared this conversation. Out of county trips are a challenge to execute. No transit system in America does it well. I just have to be very honest with that. Out of county connections are a regional hot topic, and it is going to be something that we have to develop our system first, and then we can do better regional connections. I want to share that. So that's where we want to take care of the four walls within the county first. And that's where, as we grow our service towards the southern third, guess what will get a little bit easier? Going into Franklin County, right? And that's why we want to build a more robust system that can spread out and be more easily managed that way. We have a great relationship with CODA. I've met with their leadership team on various levels, right? And we are continually looking towards how can we efficiently and effectively get those connections made. But it's iterative. It's going to take a little bit of time. And as they grow their system, and as they look towards those peripheral neighborhoods, right, let's northern Franklin County, right, we want to make certain that we're paying attention to what they're doing and capitalize and time it up right so that we're executing together in an appropriate manner.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time, but we're building towards that, absolutely.
Sure. That's a lot tougher, and then our southern part, Delaware too,
Yes.
has a lot of cars in it. And
Yes.
so people like to travel still by car, if they can. So, but Andy, you're just doing a wonderful job. I mean, all the great presentation, and the proof is in the pudding with the number of people who you are serving. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, Andy, just a follow-up question on that.
Yes, sir.
How many actual clients do we serve? I know we did 154,000 trips, but how many?
Yeah,
people?
that's a really good question. And I'm going to give you the number, and I will verify this number. It's around 1,000 individual passengers on any given month. And the reason I say that is people use their different travel patterns are always so hard to predict. We have some folks that use our service for a period of time and never use it again. We have some passengers that use it and pass away. This is just a very real part of our system. Then we have others who use it forever. But I know that we're averaging somewhere around that 1,000 number, but I will verify that number for you. Yeah, great question.
Thank you.
I have several comments. First of all, compliments to our current board. The board we have currently is, I think, doing an exceptional job. We're lucky to have these people who have committed their time to do it the right way, and I'll be very frank, it hasn't always been that way. If that upsets somebody, so be it. I remember 7, 8 years ago, in a work session, we talked about going to smaller vehicles. 7 or 8 years ago, and I'm glad to see we're moving down that road because that's important. Medicaid, I made that comment. We asked that conversation 7 or 8 years ago, and nothing happened.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to see we're making progress, even if it is a little burdensome with regulations,
Yes,
et
sir.
cetera.
And of course, Andy wasn't there then.
No,
No,
yeah,
no.
I thought that was
So,
understood. That was
yeah,
understood.
'cause we've
I
all
said
been-
prior leadership.
Yeah.
We don't have any electric vehicles, correct?
No, sir.
To me, that's been a boondoggle at the national level, and I hope we don't go down that road anytime soon because it's been miserably handled at the federal level. And the relationship with other agencies, whatever we can do there to improve those relationships. I think we have a lot of vehicles in some of these departments that really, if we could work better together, maybe there's some opportunities, and no one's fault. Everybody's trying to do the best they can with what they have. So my compliments to the organization, my compliments to the board. I think you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Tracy, any
No,
comments?
just, well, Tracy Davies, Administrator, just appreciate the partnership with Andy. Andy and I get together regularly, and I also want to thank Don Houston, who's our rep with all the board meetings and keeps us informed of everything going on. So just thanks to you and your team. I know that you've been working really hard, and I know Crystal's been working very hard, so thank you all.
Don's been our liaison with the board, and
Yes,
Years.
that's
so
right.
that's an oversight on my part. The job you're doing is
Very much
appreciated.
appreciated.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
commissioners. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We actually had one more.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
You had one more topic.
Do you want me to address it here? Okay. So I just want to publicly recognize our operations director, Crystal James. She was selected, nominated, and then voted on by her peers for an Ohio Public Transit Association, or OPTA, Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm going to do this all from memory, so forgive me if I butcher it. I had the privilege to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to her. Crystal is employee number 2. And much like many folks in transit, she started her career having zero idea that she would do this for 25 years. This is very common in transit. People get into it to help themselves, to make ends meet, and then 20 plus years later, you're going, holy smokes, I'm the operations director. Crystal is the chief orchestrator for Flex. When we launched it in June of 2020, she was one of the reasons that it happened and it's been so successful. In my time, I've not met a transit professional with the ethos, professionalism, and dedication that Crystal has. There's been many times that she will roll in at midnight to help a special event. She will stay over for staff that need assistance, and she will always make the appropriate decision for the agency. We are fortunate that she has been here for this long, because any agency or department, quite frankly, anywhere would have benefited from her leadership. And it's my privilege to be able to serve the community alongside her for the 2 years that I have been here, but I'm thankful for her, and we are very, very proud of what she's done.
Boy, amazing. Now, is Crystal here with you?
She is.
Well, we want to see Crystal.
Come on up.
As you were bragging about it, I was watching her face. She gave no expression, and she looked real cool. Well done.
Yeah,
Is there anything you want to say, Crystal?
yeah.
I'm honored with the award. I was shocked. He's a hard person to follow to speak behind, but I love what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do. I got this job 25 years ago as a temporary office assistant. And about a year in, I had the opportunity to help an elderly lady attend her daughter's funeral. She was in a wheelchair. She had no transportation to go to the actual service and then to the cemetery. So at that point, I knew that I was in it for the long haul because that was a good feeling. And so it's great to serve the the members of the community that are truly transit dependent, but now we're seeing a lot of evolution and folks that are just choosing to use us. And it's really cool, especially the youth. So I'm honored to work with Andy. I've seen a lot of ups and downs in the agency, my time there. And the last 2 years have been really great. I love what he's doing in the community, and he's a great leader, and it definitely flows down, so thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to comment, the direction the current administration board's going is exceptional. You guys have made a lot of progress, and that's what we need, is to make this a better county for everybody to be able to transportation-wise, and thank you for all you're doing.
you.
Appreciate it.
Boy, thank you so much, both of you, gosh.
Yeah. Congratulations. Is that a statewide award?
Yeah, so correct. She was up against other folks in
Oh,
the state.
my.
That's correct.
And she beat them.
That's right.
100%, yes.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you for coming too.
Yeah.
And you were going to introduce her if we hadn't pressed it.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I'm still under the weather. I think I shared that, right? No, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, guys.
so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to item number 5, resolution number 24-1030. In the matter of amending resolution 18-1395, Slate Ridge 2 TIF to extend the exemptions from tax of improvement to the parcels of real property designated in the resolution for additional period of 30 years, making the request determinations to extend the exemptions and providing for school district compensation, all pursuant to section 5709.51 of the revised code.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Eric Hostetler, General Counsel. This resolution will authorize the extension of the exemptions in the Slate Ridge 2 TIF area for an additional 30 years. There are a lot of public infrastructure improvements that were designated in the resolution that this TIF can help fund, and by extending it, we can kind of chip away at some of those projects. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Notice was provided to the school districts. I don't believe we received any comments.
No, I
certainly
did not
didn't.
receive any comments.
The TIF extension period provides for the schools to be made whole, so this is, converts to a non-school TIF during the extension period.
Questions or comments? Call for vote.
Vote on motion 24-1030. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you, Eric.
Resolution number 24-1031, in the matter of approving supplemental appropriations and a transfer of funds.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Justin Navi, Director of Finance. This first request has been submitted to process year-end transfers within the unclaimed monies fund.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 24-1031. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 24-1032, the matter of approving supplemental appropriations.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Thanks, Commissioners. This second item has been requested to authorize refunds to various governmental entities. These monies will be coming from the Real Estate Assessment Fund.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 24-1032. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 24-1033, in the matter of approving a transfer of appropriations for juvenile court.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Karen Watkins, Fiscal Coordinator for the Delaware County Juvenile and Probate Court. This is for closing out an award. Appropriations need to be moved from the line item that was not used into the refund, so we can go ahead and close out for year end.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 24-1033. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Karen, just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Before you leave.
Last time you did this, I admitted it was my birthday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, this is, I know, a huge thank you for what you did with the Hunger Games.
Oh, thank
over
you.
Thanksgiving, and you wrote us a beautiful memo which outlined.
And she does it every year.
I do.
She does it every year. That's right. That's right.
It was a wonderful event. It was very well, attended. We ended up with only a couple of bags left over. At one point, the line went all the way around the fairgrounds. We started to back up over on Pennsylvania. It was quite an event. Being able to share it with so many people. We had a couple of members from Main Street, Delaware come over this year. My own parents were actually able to participate this year, which was wonderful. They hear about it at the end, but actually be able to share it. We had a couple of wonderful youth take part in it as well. So again, sharing it and getting it further spread is really great. We had Big Walnut and the Olentangy School Districts not only participate in a fun food drive for it, but then also accepted meals from us. So this was the first successful year that we made it into all of the large local school districts this year.
Oh, my gosh.
It was tremendous.
Well done. I know you have a passion for this.
I do. It's wonderful. Again, just sharing it and inviting people to see it. Being able to serve the community is really wonderful. I love that opportunity.
And you do it so well.
Thank you.
The collaboration with all groups.
Again, every time I'm able to share it with one more person, I know that it's going to be more successful with Olentangy and Big Walnut participating this year, and even Main Street, Delaware. They had their businesses participate. So some good friends of ours just purchased the Buns restaurant, so they had a peas collection going on. And then one of the owners came over. He's a college friend of mine. He helps deliver the meals the next Monday. So not just doing the drive, but then sending it back out is the most important part. So it was wonderful, and I really look forward to next year as well.
Oh, my gosh. Any idea on numbers? I think you probably...
We ended up handing out 827 meals this year. If you think that each kit serves, 4 adults, I mean, it was well over 3,500 meals that we served Delaware County with this year. We had about 560 birds sitting over in the Bixby freezer. I really appreciate the use of that space.
anytime.
It was great. It was, again, the fact that we had the line go all the way around. We had 24 meal kits left over by 6 o'clock, but Sheriff Deputy Cox was able to take those over to people in need the very next day and just load them up in the car and get them on their way. So, 24 out of 827, it's not a bad ending.
Oh, my God.
And the committee's donations and
Correct.
support
We've got support from the Eagles, Performance Auto always does a very generous donation. We have a grilled cheese and soup food drive, our fundraiser over at the court every year. The schools are always eager to participate and do a one drive collection. Again, we had Main Street, Delaware participate. I think there was some gravy over at Ginty's place over at Opa's. They were very excited about gathering 500 packets of gravy. So, just being able to share it is wonderful. All of the agencies around here, the engineer's office is always very eager. I love getting copied on their updates and how they're doing. But yeah, every agency, and every year I'll get an email of like, hey, we heard about this. Can we participate? Absolutely. How would you like to help this year?
Oh, my gosh.
So it's wonderful. I love seeing the community come together, and it's such an easy charitable work. Everybody brings one thing, and that's one thing that we can then turn around and send out into our community. It's really wonderful.
And you lead and coordinate it all.
I have a spreadsheet that tries to keep me sane.
Oh, my gosh.
But
Karen,
thank you.
thank you for the community. It's just a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
Item number 9 is actually an item that we're going to see on Thursday, the 19th. So moving on to item number 10, resolution number 24-1034, in the matter of setting the bid date and time to receive bids for a trash dumpster service contract for the Delaware County Regional Sewer District.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag, Director of Environmental Services. So this is a one-year contract with 2 optional one-year extensions for the dumpster rental and collection at all of our major facilities. We spent, I think, $7,000 last year on this item.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 24-1034. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 24-1035, in the matter of approving the plat of subdivision for Summer Crest Drive.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lee Bodnar, excuse me, with the Engineers Office. For your consideration, the plat of Summercrest Drive subdivision consists of 10 lots located west of 3Bs and K Road and south of Cheshire Road in Berlin Township. All necessary and required agencies have reviewed this plat, and we recommend your approval.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 24-1035. Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Resolution number 24-1036, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion?
Yes, Commissioners, for your consideration, the summary sheet is for 7 standard utility right-of-way permits with nothing remarkable to share, and we would recommend your approval. And
I
again,
did
that
check,
number.
it is 7.
Number was 7, yes, sir. I'm good at counting, except when I'm counting.
Questions or comments? Call for vote.
Vote on motion 24-1036. Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Resolution number 24-1037, in the matter of accepting improvements within the project known as Gregory Road, County Road 96 improvements, and releasing construction bond.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion?
Yes, Commissioners, for your consideration, this resolution releases the construction bond and accepts the improvements associated with 49 buildable lots located between Gregory Road and Pyatt Road, just north of Cheshire Road in Berlin Township. All necessary and required agencies have reviewed these improvements, and we recommend your approval.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 24-1037. Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Resolution number 24-1038, in the matter of establishing maintenance bond and releasing construction bond for Clark Shaw Reserve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion?
Yes, Commissioners, again, for your consideration, this resolution releases the construction bond and establishes the 1-year maintenance bond for Clark Shaw Reserve, which includes 61 buildable lots located between Clark Shaw Road and Hyatt's Road, just west off of Sawmill Parkway in Liberty Township. All necessary and required agencies have reviewed the road construction and improvements, and we recommend your approval.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 24-1038. Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
That brings us to administrator reports.
Nothing today.
Eric, I know you have something in the back room there. Commissioner Lewis.
Yes, switching to Christmas from Thanksgiving, I attended with my husband Jim the holiday clearinghouse, and it was a great success too. And it just is, as we often say, the generosity of our county and the work that people put into making certain that those who are less fortunate are served. And we actually have over 25,000 people in Delaware County who face food insecurity sometime each week. And just want to give a big shout out to PIN Director Kathy Hoff. She just does an amazing job leading the organization, and in talking with her, one of the things she continually does is go to different community events, and she said she was over in Powell, and one of the problems you can imagine with the clearinghouse, because they have, I mean, I don't even know the name of the building, Jeff, where it is.
It's the Coliseum.
Yeah,
on
the
fairgrounds.
Coliseum
It's called the
is
Coliseum.
full of
Completely
everything.
full.
And getting it there from Penn over to the Coliseum has always been a problem. And so Kathy mentioned when she was at this Powell event that, you know, this was a challenge. And so she happened to be talking to someone who had worked with, 2 Men in a Truck.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so she said, let me contact them. And sure enough, 2 Men in a Truck took all the items from Penn over to the Coliseum.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, just at no cost.
Right.
So, I
That's a
mean,
lot of stuff.
that's,
That's
yeah.
a lot of
it's-
trips.
I just
lot of
can't
full
imagine.
trucks.
Right, and it's the 70th year, and they supported 510 families with 1,362 children, and in addition, 214 seniors with nutritious groceries, warm new coats, and toys for Christmas. And it is Delaware County's largest Christmas holiday giving program, so hats off to Penn. And
Very good.
that's it.
Commissioner King.
Yeah, that's always a huge event, incredibly complex logistics to get all the stuff there, to get the families through the process, the volunteers that help. So yeah, hats off to Kathy and Penn and all the volunteers, and it's great. You know, the Hunger Games and Penn's Holiday Clearinghouse, I mean, it just shows how much our community cares about everyone and takes care of those who need a little help. Just a couple of the things. Let's see, Morpsey, we had our regular meeting on Thursday, and we had our engineers. Chris Bosman, our county engineer, does a luncheon every year with township trustees where he explains what the engineer's office does and how they support the townships, and very well attended. Probably all but one or two of the townships had at least one trustee there. And very informative, very interesting. I really applaud the county engineer for doing that every year, because I'm sure it really helps with communications. And there's so many ways we partner with the townships and the other local jurisdictions, and it's just an example of one of the things that the engineer's office does to support the townships. Then went to the Delaware County Township Association dinner on Thursday evening, and that was very well attended, very well done. Again, very active group. Most of the townships again were there. A lot going on. Again, there's lots of ways, you know, that just shows you a lot of ways we support and work well with our townships. That's all I got.
And I believe we were all at that event.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
The only things, I have a couple things. John Freeman breakfast was Saturday morning, a typical, well-attended. It's always amazing. Everybody takes the same place. They do the same thing every year, so they don't have to learn a new trade, so to speak. And it's always a great event and well done. And second Saturday next year, it'll be done again. And Wednesday, OWU has an entrepreneur board meeting in the morning, I believe at 9 o'clock, and I'll be in attendance for that. With that, I have nothing else. We will need to recess until 1 o'clock. So we are now in recess.
Thank
till
you.
1 o'clock.